All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Free Daily Coaching. We got the office kind of back online, as you may recall from yesterday's, except for now I got my light set up in here. It's like blinding me, right? It's facing the wrong way. So we got a few more adjustments to make here. Ooh, bright lights, right? A few more adjustments to make there. We put it up against and make it shine up against the wall, and it actually bounces off the wall and gives back a little bit of a nice reflection. So that's what we're trying to do. So this morning, we're talking about mapping out a plan. And in this case, we're talking about a specific plan that Rob and I were working on. And so yesterday, what I did was I gave you a brief outline of the numbers and what we sat down and figured out, okay, well, we have to do this X, Y, and Z, right? This is the amount of leads that we'll have to generate. This is the amount of sales that we believe that we'll get based on that work, right? So based on those numbers is where we then decided to work from. So instead of, okay, so in this case, we're using an affiliate program, okay? So I can use the whiteboard today. You can see that white top yesterday. So in this specific case, we used an existing affiliate program. So we already had an offer, okay? So our main goal, okay, so if you go back now to yesterday's video, you can go back and rewatch that and get the information from yesterday's call. So yesterday, what we decided was our end result, okay? So our end result was, and we use this as an example, 60K in 60 days. Okay, that was just an example. Our numbers were a little bit different, but this gave a great example. Okay, so that showed us our end result, 60K in 60 days. We broke this down into the number of people, the number of leads, and we broke that all down yesterday, okay, for you. So when we ultimately broke it down, we know that this ultimate breakdown here that we talked about yesterday was to generate X amount, right? That's all. We put that all in one deal there. X amount of leads. Okay, I can't spell this morning. So generate X amount of leads. So that was our end goal, right? Our final goal for the morning or for yesterday. After we broke down all the numbers, after we looked at where do we want our end result to be, we started to build out, we started to break down those numbers so that we could see what were the real actions that would really be required. What would it really look like? So we decided we need to generate X amount of leads per day. Okay, that was the ultimate goal, right? We broke down from the end result that we wanted to get to what was our real goal. To get to this end result, what do we have to do? We have to generate this X amount of leads per day. Okay, so then the next question, right? And this is yesterday. This is how we built out this LoRa yesterday. And this is the same process we're going to continue. So we need to generate X amount of leads per day. Okay, so the questions that you are going to ask, right? The questions you should be asking yourself is, how will I collect and capture? Okay, how will I collect and capture the leads? Okay, that's two different things. How will I collect and how will I capture? Collection is the where. Okay? Collection is the where. We'll go over that in just a minute. Capture is the how. Okay? So collection is the where, capture is the how. So how will I collect and how will I capture? Okay? So these are two new questions that you have to ask yourself. So once you ask yourself, okay, how am I going to collect? How am I going to capture? Then we can break this down even farther. And this seems like a lot, and guess what? It is. This is exactly how Rob and I did it. We sat for hours, and then we've done hours and hours and hours of more work behind that. And that's what it takes to build a business, right? That's what it takes to build a successful enterprise, and that's what it takes. You got to do what it takes. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look at these two new areas. Here's collection. Hopefully that's showing up. And then we got capture over here. Is it going to show up? Capture. Okay. So that's it. We started making some ideas. Really, we just started throwing out ideas for collection. It really didn't matter where, right? We just threw out, we knew that we were going to focus a lot on Facebook ads. We got some solo ads, mass emailers, personal lists. Okay, so that didn't take long for us to figure out. Okay, we're going to do some Facebook ads, solo ads, mass emailers, personal lists. There may be some other things that we can add into that mix as we move forward, but as of right now, these are the basic collection methods that we have, right? Super easy, okay? Now capture, how are we gonna capture them? So this is where we started throwing out ideas, right? So we have different tools that we can use. Okay, so we have three different deals here. We have Funnelizer, we have ClickPages or ClickFunnels, and we have Leadpages. Those are the three main mechanisms that we have as far as different funnel builders, right? Things that you could actually build funnels with and that have templates. So both Rob and I had access to Funnelizer, ClickFunnels, and Leadpages. We also had access to multiple different emails. We both have access to Aweber, so we decided that we would use Aweber. Now, of these three, ClickFunnels was a little complicated. I hadn't used it before, and so instead of trying to go through the learning curve of ClickFunnels, we just erased that off the list. What we want to do in our build out was create something for the entire team, something that could be replicated so that our entire team could use it and we could tag people to the entire team. So Leadpages can actually be shared. You can actually share Leadpages with people. So we decided originally that we would go with Leadpages and Aweber, okay? So that was the capture method. And in the beginning, we would just simply do some tests. Okay, over here we would do some collection tests to figure out what was the best split testing, and then we would primarily run, and what most of our team is going to do is run paid Facebook ads, right? So that was the idea. That was the next step in this process. So once we have this, now we know what we're going to do. So now we have a list of what exactly, let me get that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We got whiteboards flying this morning, folks. I had it on the desk and not on the stand. It's why. So let's get the cleaner here. We'll wipe this off so that we can see what we're writing again. And now we'll look at what was the next step. So now that we decided, right, now that we've determined what's going to be our plan of attack, now we have to really drill down. So now that we say, okay, now let me change up the color. Let me see if green will work. Okay. Hopefully the green shows up. So now we have this capture, right? Make that look like an N. Okay, so now we have capture. We know what we're gonna do. So we know that if we're gonna actually build out this process, that we're gonna have to have multiple offers, right? So we have to go and look. Multiple offers. Okay, so we decided that we were going to create an A, B, and C split test. Okay, so we decided an A, B, C split test. What does that mean? That means we have 3 versions. 3 versions of every capture page. Okay? So we have 3 versions of every capture page. So let's say in this example, we're going to create our very first offer is to show people how to get Facebook video views, right? Facebook views for a penny or less. Okay? So then we made a capture page A, a capture page B, and a capture page C. Okay? On capture page A, B, and C, we have the same title. We have a form for them to fill out and a button. A form and a button, a form and a button. Everything's the same. Same form, same button, same title. The only difference in this case is, let's say, a background image. We're going to find which background image, which format works the best. We're going to run this through our tests. We're going to send this to our personal emails. We're going to run some Facebook ads. We're going to run it through some mass emailers that we have so that we can determine and split test the A, B, and C version to find which is the best version. Okay? So we took 9 offers, 9 of 21, okay? The current offers, and we built out 3 times each for those 9 equals 27. Okay? So we built out 27 different funnels. Now, this is where it gets, this is where the rubber really meets the road. So we built out these 27 funnels. It took us a couple days to build out. We also created email lists, right, to associate the email, right? We had an email. There's a little email envelope there. We had email going, okay? Lists were created as well. Now this is where the funkiness comes in. We have to have some kind of rotation device, okay? So we had a rotator to rotate in these 3 different capture pages. But because we were using a rotator, we were using it with Facebook. Facebook didn't really like that. So we were having some tracking issues. So we're using some outside different tracking methods, and that messed us up a little bit, or it kind of made things a little wonky. So we had to revamp some things. So imagine doing all this, creating these 27 funnels, and then recognizing, hey, this isn't going to function. The functionality of how this is going to function isn't going to be fluid on what we want to do. So now we have the framework, right? We got the frame now. We built 27 funnels. So that's good. We have a bunch of these offers out there that are ready that we could start to share, except they're only good for us, right? They're not good for the team because if the team doesn't have lead pages, that could be an issue. And secondly, the tracking and how we wanted it to be able to track, so we could actually make sure everything was operating and functioning properly, wasn't transferring across. So what did that mean? Well, that means while I'll be A or I'll be B, and here's R. So Rob's over here and I'm over here. So together we build 27 funnels, okay? 27, and we'll show it like this, funnels, right? We build these 27 funnels, then we recognize, hey, there's something wrong. We get the rotator going, right? We'll do a little drawing for a rotator. We have a link rotator, so we can have different links for the A, B, and C, and it will try, it shows everyone a different one. So we got that. We got our email made, our list made, right? We're all set up for that. We're ready, right? Here's our little email envelope. So we get all these things, components together. We get a link tracker. What should we draw for that? We'll draw here, I'll just draw this whole thing in one, okay? This is what we did, this big project, okay? This is a big project that we did, okay? And now we got all of this done. We decide to add the link tracker, so we add the tracker. And what happens? Everything goes sideways, right? Everything goes wonky. So yesterday, while I'm focusing over here on the tracker and figuring out how are we going to use this, we're mostly going to use this to just define the from. Okay, what does that mean? So we just figured out yesterday, and this is all part of the process, guys. So as you see, as we're building, we were building and then figuring things out at the same time. So as we did this, we decided, hey, we're going to use this tracking mechanism to define the from, meaning we're going to decide to use this specific tracking tool that we're using. We're going to use to define where the traffic's coming from. So that's the only method it's going to be used for. It's only going to be used or primarily going to be used to determine where the traffic's coming from. We're going to use a different mechanism to track the conversion process in the opt-in process and as people are going through this funnel. So, does it seem a little complex? Yes, but this is the good part. I'm just giving you the format, the general idea. Later, I'll give you the specific LoRa that we actually use as we get deeper into the week so that you could go back and actually go through that. And remember that this is what it really takes if you're going to blow something out, if you're going to build it out from the beginning and you want to really, knock it out. This is what it takes if you're going to use this specific method that we're using, which is the method of go in, knock it out for 2 or 3 months, get the work done, and then just let that work go, extend through time so that you get the leverage of doing it once and getting, multiple effects from this one-time work. So when we do that, so now I'm over here, Rob's over here, we got all this done. I'm going to go over here and check out the tracker. Well, Rob did an ad as a test, right? A little tester ad, and we found out that this rotator, the rotator mechanism, isn't functioning properly. So we have to change direction. We have to look at what we're doing, evaluate, and how can we accomplish the end goal to get the end result, which is we want to get these capture pages out. We want to generate these leads. In addition to that, one of our other goals in building this is that to be able to give the team access to this, right? To be able to allow our team to actually be able to access this. So instead of creating it over on lead pages or Funnelizer or using ClickFunnels, we decided the best way to do it. The best way to do it is to use the funnels that we already created, use these as templates, right? And go direct to a server. direct upload, okay? So we did a direct upload. I'm showing you the little upload arrow here, right? We did a direct upload of our pages to the server. So why did we do the direct upload to the server? Well, this way we could create subdomains. We could create the pages right on a website so that it's an actual web page. We can then create the tracking ID on that web page and be able to track it much, much more thoroughly. We can also add in new users a lot easier by just adding in subdomain accounts. And that way people don't have to have existing tools. We could give them a new username, a new tool as they sign up, and they would have their own site ready to go with their own funnels already ready to rock and roll. So as you can see, it's quite a process to build this out. Now, yesterday we did the mind map. Yesterday we broke down the numbers and I showed you what we did. Today, what I gave you was a general overview. Now you can see what we've done up to this point based off of that. And we've had to adjust. So tomorrow what we'll do is we'll go over this main section. How did we determine to create these 27 funnels? How did we determine that? And then how did we create the A, B, and C split tests of those? How and why would we use this rotator? And what was the email, the idea behind it, and what did we use for that email function in Aweber, right? What was that? What was the actual functioning of that, and why did we use it? So that's what we'll be going over tomorrow. So again, we're going to break this entire process down so you have the list of required actions so you can see that and see this entire process as it's blown out. I wanted to give you yesterday the end result where we start at the end, and then today I wanted to show you, hey, look, we built part of this out, right? And I'll show you exactly how we did that. And look, even with all this work and even with all this done, we still have to go back and change it up. We had to decide to change it up midstream because why? Well, because what we wanted to do wasn't giving us the functionality that we required, right? That we decided that we required. So we had to change it up. That's all. It's a simple, easy, not easy. Let me change that wording. Strike that. It was a simple adjustment that was difficult to make. It was difficult to make because you had already put time and effort in, and now you have to go back and retool some things, right? And that's always frustrating when you have to retool something that you've already created. That's when it gets frustrating, right? You're like, man, I spent all this time doing X, Y, Z, and now I have to redo it. So that being said, that's what we've done up to now. Tomorrow, we're going to go over this specific box and how we broke down these 27 funnels, why we use the rotator, and what we did specifically with the email up to this point. So thanks for joining us here at Free Daily Coaching. We're mapping out a marketing plan for you. We're showing you the exact process here at Free Daily Coaching that we use, and I'm literally taking it right from my notes and just redrawing it for you so that you guys can see how our brains work, how we plan this out, and what we do to be able to build out a marketing system from ground one. So thanks for joining us here at Free Daily Coaching. We'll see you the next time.